Oh, welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, I've found my first large compost find for this year. I did say in my King's speech on Christmas Day that I didn't want to see any. Oh dear me, I shan't say that again. I didn't mean it, guys. But we'll have a look at that at the minute. I just wanted to show you some of the things. These are the trailing yellow tomatoes, the performer potatoes. I'm trying to grow a giant one for Melbourne. That's a single chit. I dug the chit out of a potato. The outdoor tomatoes are doing absolutely brilliantly. No blight as far as I can see so far. Cape gooseberries in with the carrots, doing smashing. They're not quite ready yet. Looks like they could do with a little bit of water, but if we had water we could end up having the carrots split. Polytunnel looks really good at the moment as well, and we're still getting cucumbers from the Emily and Telepathy. Quite happy in here, and because I'm watering the celery every time I water the long roots, that looks good as well. The volunteer plant is still growing. I'm still thinking it's some sort of melon. My yellow courgettes, oh dear. I put them out on the bench though at the allotment car park, and they always seem to disappear. The Christmas potatoes are just starting to show. So the Swift have kicked off before the Rocket, and the Volunteer is still growing. Now the Christmas potatoes have started to show, I'll start watering, because we know then it shouldn't go rotten. And the Sharpies Express that we potted on still looks good, and I'm still diligently looking for caterpillars. I tried shaking the bush, or the plant shall we say, thinking it, look, don't mind squeezing those, but the cabbage whites are still about. But I'll pop this young chap into the compost bin. There you go, get on with that. The beds that I've covered in sheep's wool still doing okay. I'll drop that video on the end screen. And I did add some of the mint to the beds where we did the green manure, just to help disguise, but you can see that some of the green manure is growing, as well as some of the weeds. Soft Fruit Harvest 2024, the little competition there. I've just got these blueberries to add. There won't be a lot, but I'm going to total up all the different fruits and we'll see who the winner is. The blackberries and the raspberries are now going over. There's lots of fruit on the floor, and bar gum, the smell of rotting fruit. They do, some of them are edible. I think the rest now we'll share with the birds and me, excuse me. I've removed the Vegega raised bed. Links are in the description below. I'll be looking at that. There is a little bit of rust on the inside, but I'll be showing that in a separate video. And I've rebuilt the mini walk-in greenhouse, popped it there for now. All the soil from out of there has gone into there. We did speak about a small compost find that we had in these bags, and I said there's something else in there. There was a bag of bags, so win-win. I've got loads of small bags now to reuse. There's some rubbish in there as well, but I can then dispose of that responsibly, and it isn't sitting in a ditch somewhere. So we'll be revealing these first, see what else is in here, and I'll be opening all these bags up that we found. So if you see something lying on the side of the road or about in bags shaped like that, you can hopefully think that it's going to be these. And one of the previous comments did say about the bags Do they always dump them in the bags? Not always. But if you think about it, they can make about 1,000 UK pounds off each plant out of each bag. So if the bag costs them £10, the compost costs them £10, it's £20 just to replace it and have fresh. But as you'll see, this wasn't a very good grow, and that's probably why they've changed to this compost, and it must have the perlite already in it, mixed. That's where you see me show you the compost that's actually got the added perlite in. I need to top that bag up. I've bought most of my bags over now, and then there'll be a super soil versus normal compost. So it's super soil that was in the compost bin, and we did notice a massive difference with how it composted. We'll be doing a reveal to see how the potatoes did in the soil, the compost, homemade compost that had the super soil in. So let's just set you up and we'll crack on. And here's another bed with the green manure. And of course the bean seeds, green manure beans. Keep popping their heads up. So the most important thing is to make sure you've got some good slash-proof gloves, just in case there's any nasties in these bags. I put the plastic down, so I apologise for the noises on that. Right, to make sure I get every little bit of compost out, I can then dispose of these bags responsibly. And in here, that root's come out far too easy. And as you can see, there's some roots in there, but they rot down over a period of years. And I'll just tend to shake off what we've got. And then this goes into a separate bucket, which will go into the compost bin. That's pretty full, but what I'm trying to do, I normally put them into a bin. What I'm going to do is just put them to one side. So I'm going to step you back now. If I find anything any different, we'll take a closer look. If not, a pause and record and we'll get rid of that heap. Now this is a different looking bag, but what's inside? A bag of roots, plus some other debris. Ideal for composting. Ooh, nice little tea towel. Do you think Mrs. K will let me put that in the washing machine? Pop it in the comments. Now that plastic bag there had about 10 layers of bags on it. I think it's just some smelly stuff that's gone rotten. And up there we had another bag of roots out of those white bags, plus some Red Bull to keep them going. I bet the smell's bad enough. Right, let's get tidied up and we'll see what we've got. Oh, I've got that other bag to reveal. So we're not really sure what's in these bags. I've already took a load of them bags out, as you've already seen. This is the compost with the added perlite. Now remember, fly tipping, which is what this is, if you pick it up, you've got to take it with you. If you put it back down on the ground, you could take ownership. So sometimes you'll end up with all this to get rid of. If you drop it on the floor, you could end up being prosecuted yourself, so always take a photo before and after. Let's see what we've got. Plenty of compost there. Right, so let's have a look. So I've got 4 bags of rooty material. I've put that root top on there so I know which it is, and then they can go into the bottom. But you can see the difference. That's more of a rough compost compared to the cocoa coir. Altogether we've got 31 bags of compost. They're 39 litre bags. I managed to find 1 cardboard insert. I ended up with this full of bags, which I've been using, a nice tea towel, some roots that can go into the compost bin. You can see there that it was originally put in a square pot and it didn't really get going. So all that cocoa coir is root free. And there's some of the little pots that are supposed to be biodegradable. Didn't make it. And I've still got these lying in the pot, but there's a little bit of compost in there. And we've got 2 bags of rubbish. Remember, make sure you use gloves, but these sacks will be ideal for next year's potatoes. I can give these away. And people do say to me, oh, you don't know what they put in it, whatever, but they remember they flush everything out to make the buds grow. It's similar to peppers. Stop watering, stop feeding, and you get the result. So since 2014, when I found my first little 10 litre sack, I'm mentally on the Facebook group Keep Calm and Make Compost, got to about 14,200, and then we just kept adding on over the years. We ended up with 38,200 and possibly 40 there. That was the last big find, 3,800 litres, August 2023. Today's haul is 1,209 plus 80 that we've already used to top those potatoes up. So it gives me a grand total of 39,500 litres of found cannabis compost. So if you say there's, say, 60 litres, that means I've got today 21 bags at £6 a bag. Let's say that's £128. So anybody that says to me, why do you collect that, it could have or anything in, but if you found £125 on the floor with dog poop all over it, wouldn't you pick it up and clean it? I certainly would. So that cocoa coir will come in handy for some of these projects where we're moving beds. We're moving this row of beds to here, do a row up there. So I'll be able to move this compost now. No good putting it into the bin because I'm going to be using it again, he says, hopefully. And that larger pallet collar there, that's being moved to make way for more barrels so that I can irrigate all of these beds in the future. And there's the 4-year-old leaf mould, there's the 2-year-old leaf mould, all free, just a little bit of effort like I did collecting that compost we've looked at today. It's Saturday the 31st of August 2024. I got here at 6:30. I've been here about an hour doing that. It's only an hour of my time, it doesn't cost nothing. My worm bin's full, it's insulated, there's probably 1,200 litres of homemade compost in there. I have 2 bins of manure, approximately 1,500 litres. We're halfway down this now. It has settled. And this is the fresh bin. So the other side was probably last year's start. This is what I've been collecting this year. Again, another 1,500 litres. It keeps sinking, I keep topping it up. I harvest the wood chips from the paths. I've put some in here when we've topped everything up. They've sunk down now really well, gone down at least 300 a foot. That will be rotting down nicely. This is my homemade compost that you've seen in that bin, my large worm bin with the sheep's wool on. It goes into the potatoes and it gets dumped out in there. Yes, we get a few little potatoes grow. Here's the unscrupulously dumped compost, including spider webs. That's got the added perlite in. And then you've got some of the cocoa coir. Again, that looks fairly clean right at the bottom of that now. And we've topped up our potatoes with that just to help stop the weeds. It doesn't stop plants from growing though. So that's how I manage to keep my beds full. I've got a pile of soil that I've dug out from elsewhere. I dig all the soil out before I put these on, put some wood chips underneath, then start building it up, because that soil, what's the point in leaving it down there? Get all your weeds out of it and reuse it. Don't just do no dig. I try and practice no dig, but I do scrape the tops off so I can add a little bit more to it. And there's my temporary compost bins. These are the ones that we use through the winter months now. And then any material in there gets spread out into that bed or used in the potatoes that we've got lined up here. All homemade compost out of those containers that we've just seen, the temporary compost bins. Some had got, one of those bins had got super soil in, some haven't. So I should be doing a reveal to see if using super soil in our compost bins helps our plants grow. Nothing but material from the compost bins, nothing else added. I only add amendments to my Christmas potatoes or any challenges that I take place in. You don't always get a good crop, but they're free. If you've liked the content, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Pop in the comments what you do, what you say. Do you go to the breweries and get the hops, the spent hops? Pile it into the comments to help other people, because everything's getting so expensive. I'm just about to pay my rent for the 2 plots, which is just over £85. And look, I've saved that money already. And why not consider subscribing? See what else I'll get up to. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now, and don't forget the end screens on all my compost finds, etc.